Is it recording? I think I just figured out how to do the most basic thing ever. I'm filming on my phone, which has a good camera, but I can see myself on my laptop. Is that like groundbreaking? I don't know. It feels that way. Welcome back to a new video. This week we are going to be talking about 10 ways to fill your sketchbook. Last week's video I finished an older sketchbook that I had started, and I thought about starting a new one for the video, but I have this book that I haven't finished yet. I think we do 8 spreads together. I hope you like the ideas in this video. If you do, give it a like. If you like this style of content, you can subscribe. I post videos every week. Everybody has been so sweet and encouraging. So I hope you enjoy this week's video, and I'll see you at the end. So I'm calling this a warm-up page just because I don't know how else to describe it, but you can do a lot of different variations of this. Sometimes it helps to just like mark up the page so that it's not so intimidating. So I took a bunch of different colored watercolors and made a bunch of blobs, and then I outlined little flowers, but you could do whatever you want, and then I just painted the background black. It's very simple, but I actually love how this page turned out. I've seen a few things like this on Pinterest, and something about it is just very like aesthetically pleasing. I like the way it looks in my sketchbook, and it was really fun to do, and it loosens you up for whatever you're going to make next. My next idea is to use some sort of toned paper with your colored pencils. I feel like if you use white paper, you don't really get like the full capabilities that colored pencils can give you. They can pop so much better on a different toned paper. So I feel like this makes me get out of my creative rut, and I love the way it turns out. The neons and the whites pop out so much more on a toned paper. The next idea I have is to do a master copy, taking a piece of artwork from a famous artist and trying to imitate their style, something about it that you'd like to implement in your own work. This is a painting from John Singer Sargent, and I love the way that he paints light, and it's something that I always admire in people's artwork. So you're copying in order to learn from it and try to implement that technique in your own work. Since I'm just working in a sketchbook, I used gouache, but this painting could have probably done a lot better if I used oil paint and a canvas. But this again is just for a form of practice, and you can go a step further. I didn't do this, but you can go a step further and make your own painting idea and implement what you learned from that master copy into the new painting. So we're going to be making 3 drawings. The first one is a blind contour drawing. That's where you don't look at what you're drawing, you only look at the reference photo. And the second one is just a regular contour drawing where you can look at both the reference photo and what you're drawing, and both just with line work. And then the third is going to be a full sketch of what we're trying to draw. And by doing this, it just helps your brain kind of get used to the shapes that you're about to be drawing. And so by the third sketch, it's kind of like muscle memory for your brain to fall back into. Doing any sort of figure study, whether it be of anatomy or hands or feet, I really struggle with drawing hands, so that's why I chose that as my subject. I labeled this one as drawing architecture, but I don't really know if that's exactly what I meant. I saw a sketchbook spread on Pinterest, and it had like a little house drawing, and I thought it was so cute, and I wanted to draw my childhood home in the same colorway that the drawing was in. And so I thought doing like a silhouette of a house that means something to you or a building that means something to you would be a cute way to make a little painting that's sentimental. But that's a really long-winded way of saying that, so I put draw architecture. I really liked that blue and yellow colorway, so I made another big blob of a box right next to the first one, and I wanted to do a very simple landscape. I think this is good because simplifying things as an artist for some reason is the most challenging, especially when you're first starting out. You want to get every little detail, but your brain and your eyes are so incredible that you don't really need most of the details to make out what's going on. So here I'm drawing this picture from my camera roll, and I wanted to use as few colors and as few marks as I possibly could to get the point across. And I love the way it turned out. I love how the trees look and how the colors together look, and this is the full spread. All those doodles are in the next little portion of the video. So I do this for my TikTok videos a lot, where I'll go on Pinterest and whatever I see, the next like 5 random items that I see that I feel like I can draw, I will just put on one spread, and I'll just use the same color palette so that it looks cohesive. So I did this little bag of, I guess, oranges or like potatoes in my case, and then I did these shoes. None of the drawings are that like great on their own or special on their own, but as like a whole, since they use the same color palette, I feel like it looks like stickers or something all placed on one page. And I really like the way that it ends up looking. So if you think this looks good, I recommend you try it in your own sketchbook. This one might seem a little silly and kind of obvious, but for whatever reason, I've never done it. I also don't have that much to say about it. It's pretty simple. Just draw where you are right now. You can focus on perspective. I just used a few colors again. This one's pretty simple, but it's cute to capture your space. And how often do you do that? So on this day, I went to a coffee shop and I brought my sketchbook and just a pencil. I feel like it's a little bit nerve-wracking to bring a bunch of art supplies out and about and try to use them in public. So I just brought a pencil and my sketchbook, and this coffee shop had all different artworks around. And so I just sketched the ones that were interesting to me. There was a plant on the table that I drew. And then these little drawings they're like shoe boxes turned into businesses, and I loved them. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna try to make my own version. And I took this home after sketching at the coffee shop for a little bit, and I painted it at home and finished it there. But if you are bold, you can bring all of your supplies and paint outside, or paint in a coffee shop. But I am not so bold. But I really like how this turned out, and all of the subjects I wouldn't have found if I didn't go outside. And I feel like they were really inspiring. I did a whole spread that I didn't plan on doing that day, so that was really fun, and I would recommend it. This one I do kind of all the time. I will just look up different species of flowers or bugs or animals and kind of do a bunch of them on a page. So that's what I did here. I just doodled a bunch of different species of flowers in the same pen, and then I colored them in, kind of messy, and I really like the way it turned out. If you're wondering what pen I'm using, I got this pack of the Tombow brush pens, and they're in the muted colorway, so I only have a few of them. So I was just using the same color pack for like all of the drawings in this video. And I like them. They're like messy and fun, and this is the final spread. So that's it for this week's video. I'm gonna do a little flip through with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really like the format of it. I feel like sometimes when I'm just doing like paint with me type videos, I don't always know what to say, but this felt very purposeful and almost like I was teaching something. If you do like this style video where it's a little bit more like informative and with a purpose, let me know and I will do more of that. But I hope that this video inspired you. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Even if you don't follow the prompts, I hope you enjoyed just like the process of watching it. And yeah, next week's video is gonna be a paint with me, like a full process video of how I sketch out an idea and then put it onto a canvas for a final piece. I haven't done a video of that yet. I've noticed that on TikTok, my sketchbook videos get a lot more engagement than my painting videos, so we'll see how it goes on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's video, and I'll see you in the next one.